Hello, welcome back to the Sub Bus with me, Stuart Russell, February Subculture and Nottingham Dot to Dot, and we're joined by Bastille. Thank you very much for coming, dude.
Hi, how's it going?
It's an interesting name. Where did you get it from?
It's really boring. I was born on Bastille Day, which is like French public holiday.
Coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I'd ask how you plan to celebrate, but it's clearly your birthday, so...
Yeah.
So your EP, Overjoyed, is out at the moment, which has had like remix from Sayer and Ghostwriter. Did you anticipate such an uptake for your music?
No. Yeah. Like the single that's out at the moment it was a song that I sort of made in my room by myself and then worked on a little bit with my friends. So it's nice to. Sayer are one of my favourite bands, so it's nice to have been remixed by them.
You're from London, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you get a lot of inspiration from the kind of surrounding areas you live in that influence your sound in any way? Does that have any factor?
I don't think I do, at all.
Yeah.
I think with our band's sound and all the tracks, I feel like I probably take influence from everywhere except where I come from.
So what gave you the musical bug or the producing bug, as it were? Is that what you do mainly? Are you producing more?
A bit. I started writing songs, and I started. It was when I was a teenager. It was very much just something I did for fun by myself, and I was embarrassed by it and never played songs to anyone. But I sort of started trying to produce quite early, just to produce my own songs. Yeah. And I'm definitely not a proper producer. Like technically, I'm pretty rubbish. But I've been able to co-produce all of our album with my mate, who's much
good producer.
Yeah, who's an actual producer.
But
it's nice. It's nice to be able to. Yeah, and I think for me the main thing is the main two things when I think of like our band is that I want the songs to be hopefully really good. Yeah. And memorable. And then also I've tried to do something a bit different with each song that we've done, production-wise, and try different things out, and pull together all the different types of music that I like and all the influences and stuff. But we've also, off the back of Bastille, I'm working in a couple of other bands as well, and me and the guy that I've recorded the album with are doing some production for this rapper from New York.
Who's he?
He's called F Stokes. He's an upcoming rapper, and he came over for a weekend and. 4 of us recorded the first half of an album, and we've got a gig coming up in London at a place called the Scala.
In King's Cross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's supporting us. That's like in a couple of weeks. So he's coming back over from New York, and we're going to finish off while he's here. We're going to finish off an album. So yeah, we're sort of.
So is hip hop something you want to get into then? Is it something that you've always liked?
It wasn't anything I ever envisaged getting into, but I mean, the first album that I ever got was when I was a kid was the Fugees, The Score by the Fugees. Yeah. I love that album, and I really like hip hop. I would never, ever, ever envisage working in it, but it's nice to be able to try things.
Definitely.
And sort of try things production-wise and branch into areas of music that I and we love, but would never try on our own stuff.
Is that your aim then, to never kind of have one sound, something that's similar from the last thing? It's always to change it.
I think so. I mean, I reckon probably anyone who's not me or anyone that's not involved. To us, all of our songs probably sound exactly to them. All of our songs probably sound exactly the same. But I don't know. To me, I think they all sound really different. And some of our songs are really electronic. Others are big like strings arrangements and big drums and stuff. And so yeah. And it would be nice. I'm doing this hip hop project. I'm just about to record an album with a mate of mine from another band called To Kill a King, who are wicked.
Cool.
And we're doing an album of cowboy songs together. So it's quite broad.
So you've just toured with Phoenix Solar, right?
We did a bit last year, yeah.
Yeah, like did they come and ask you personally then?
I think so, yeah. They're really nice guys, and it was wicked. Like, because I've been making music for a while, but as this band, we only really started touring kind of April of last year. So it was really good quite early on. We did some gigs with them and also with Foster the People. Yeah. So you played with some like pretty big artists like really early on. Yeah,
career,
well, I think with Foster the People, they were we played with them just before they really hit it big. Yeah. But, it was obvious they were going to go on to do, like, Pumped Up Kicks was inevitably a massive song.
Ridiculous, and they must have made so much money from that track.
And all their songs are in, like, every advert you listen to and every advert you see.
Do you think, though, with music, that's a way that people are making money out of it these days? Because, people aren't buying CDs as much anymore, so do you feel like artists need to go off and do that?
I think it's probably something that in the last few years less and less is seen as like selling out, but just because it's so hard to make money and to get that platform to get that kind of that boost and that exposure, you know, unless you get a lot of radio play, it's sort of something that's quite hard to get.
Yeah.
You know, we had a couple of sort of TV syncs last year on some British shows that, you know, maybe wouldn't be what we want to like associate ourselves with, but it definitely helped like give us
It's
a
exposure,
boost.
isn't it? It's people who are
massive.
never going to hear your music anyway, and they're finally, you know.
And also, if someone hears like 20 seconds of your song in a TV show and likes it enough to go off and actually find it on the internet,
You've done your job.
Yeah.
Finally, anything you're listening to at the moment, or even watching, or what are you doing in your downtime?
We just on the drive up from London, we just watched the entire first series of Big Train. So that's all that's on my mind.
So that's your downtime.
Yeah,
it is just on the tour bus. Is that the only time you get them?
No, we've been lucky. Like in our, we've been sort of gigging and touring quite a lot, but in our sort of downtime, I've actually just been, I guess I've just been working, if you call it work. But I'll be finishing off the album and stuff like that.
Wicked. So when's it going to come out?
Either September or January. We're not quite sure.
Well, good luck with that, and thank you very much for coming to talk to us.
worries,
really
man.
appreciate it, Dan.
No
And
worries.
take care. Have a good gig.
Thanks, man. Thank
Sweet.
you. Cheers.